Good morning. Happy Sunday crafting. I am back and I have new orders to work on. So if you're just joining in, welcome in. I'm going to be working on a few custom orders, maybe working on some things for the craft show coming up in April. And that's it. We're here drinking our coffee and yeah, let's get started. I have a wristlet to make. I was supposed to make it last night, but I got too tired. There's a rest day still. So, black keychain today. I'll show you the colors that we're going to be using. So again, I have my board here. I use it for pretty much anything that's a small project. I'm going to try to fit it so you guys can see. There you go. So black keychain now. So I've got a book here that I write all my measurements in, and I always refer back to it when needed. So I'm going to be working with some black braided cord. Now this I got from the rope shop in Hamilton, Ontario. So awesome. And this braided cord is a lot more durable. So I like working with it. And then I've also got this purple, this is the cotton, so you can see the difference here. The black's a lot more heavier, sturdier. This is a bit more flimsy, but these are the two colors I'm going to be working with this morning. They're really pretty. So it's the first time, actually, my wristlets that I make, I usually make with the braided cord. So it's my first time that I'm using a mixture of two different cords here. So we'll see how that turns out. So I'll measure out my black, because I've got the measurements for that. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. How's it going? Welcome. You made it. You found me. So I'm making a wristlet this morning. It's a custom order, so 6 feet. So I need 6 feet of cord for a wristlet. How are you doing, Carrie? So I'm going to measure out 6 feet of my black. I remember when I first started, I remember measuring out a plant hanger, and I think I needed like 16 feet or something for my plant hanger, and I was just so amazed at how much cord you actually need. Good. Reg helped me find the life. Nice. Was it hard to find? Or do you just like click on my page and, because I don't know. I don't think I've ever gone on any lives on Facebook. I do on the other platforms, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say on here. That's awesome. Well, welcome in. All right, so I'm done with the black. Now, because I'm using a different cord, it's a little bit smaller. I'm wondering if I still need 6 feet. I'm probably going to measure out a little bit longer because there's different sizes in cord. So if you're going with a smaller cord or a larger cord, you have to measure out a little bit longer or shorter. So because this is smaller, I might need a little bit more. I'm going to measure out 7 feet of my cord. You invited your neighbor. Ah, awesome. Good morning. That's awesome. Welcome in. It's a Sunday morning crafting. I started this last weekend. And we're just having our coffee and crafting, making some macrame. I have some custom order wristlet to make. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll measure out 7. Click on the Facebook page. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Good to know. All right. So that's measured out. I'm gonna move this over here. And if you're just joining, this is the board that I use. So this is an iPad holder case that I had gotten from IKEA a few years ago. And this is like an actual macrame board. And it's just like a foam. I've got a few pins. I'm gonna just hang my black keychain from there. Now, when making wristlets, 6 feet, so you need 16 inches in the middle. So if you were there with me last week, I had talked about how when you're making keychains or wristlets, you gotta measure, like your inside cord needs to be a lot shorter than your outside. So this is how long my outside cord is, and this is my inside here. So that's why I measured 16 inches works well for the wristlet. So I'm just gonna wrap it around here, around my keychain. And then all I did was just bring both cords through, and then you'll have a loop, and then you just put your 2 cords through the loop and pull tight. Now I'm just gonna double check, make sure this is still 16 inches, because sometimes it could move while you're attaching it. Yeah, so see, I'm not quite 15, so I'm just going to loosen this and bring it down a bit. So how's everyone doing this morning? I saw that it sorry, I saw that it snowed quite a bit last night. That's always fun, eh? Having to wake up and shovel. All right, let's double check. All right, this should be good. All right, so 16. So I'm gonna hang this on my board. Now let's see if I can bring this. I'll bring this over a little bit closer when I'm gonna start. And now I'm gonna attach my purple one. I'm just going to measure using my black one here. And just measure perfect. They're somewhat the same at the end here, so I'm just going to pin this to my board. Now I might have to I was just thinking, so I have it here with this on my board, but depending on what side you put the color, one will be on the inside and one will be on the outside. So I'm going to just do a few. And so I'm doing a square knot. Not sure. I'll have to put it like this. It's a little tricky. Like I said last time, it's a little tricky getting like yourself and then getting what you're working on. So so see if I'm doing it this way. I'm not sure if she has a preference though, so I might have to ask. Talissa, are you in the live right now? It's for her sister. That's why. Last time she was here with me. If she is, I'll just ask her right away. So see, when I did this like this, I did my square knot. You have the black that's going to be in the middle, and then the purple is going to be on the outside. And also when you're working on wristlets, you want to leave a little bit of a space, because when you bring this part, it kind of wraps around, and then you have to do a gathering knot at the top here to close it up. I'll show you guys what a wristlet looks like actually. I've got a few down here. I keep all my stuff in like a bin right underneath here. Wristlet, there we go. So this is what a wristlet will look like. So you have it around your wrist. You can have your keys or a little purse or something. So this is what we're making. But see what I mean? Like there's going to be one color in the middle and then one color on the outside. So I'm not sure if she had a preference. And then this is how I package them up for my craft shows. So it's just like a cardboard backing. I've got the macrame creations. I've got what it is I'm selling, and then the price. I find those are really cute. Okay, so I might have to wait on that one, but that's okay because I've got other things I can work on. So at least that one's all measured out. So I'll wait, and I'm gonna have to ask her. So I really like to make sure that my client's getting what they want. I'm gonna have some coffee though. In my hard cup this morning. Okay, so I have a next custom order for a pink bookmark. So this is my bookmarks here. This is it all packaged up. I'm not going to take it out just because it is a little bit tricky to put back in, but she wanted a pink bookmark like this. So this is the color that we came up with. It's like slightly, it's not like a very bright pink, so I think that'll look really pretty. All right, so I will take this one off the board for now. And we'll just put it to the side. There we go. Okay, so I gotta go get a ring. I will be right back. So I've got a basket here full of my different sized rings. So I've got really large ones. Maybe we can make a tea towel holder after too. So these are my really, really large ones. And these are the ones I use for the tea towels. And then I've got really small ones. So I think this is the one that I used. Yeah. So I used a really small one for my bookmarks, but you can see the difference in the sizes here. So these ones, they're large because you have to have enough room to put your towel in, right? So it hangs like on your stove. You want one. Which one do you want? Okay, hang on. I gotta get the bookmark or the tea towel holder. So I'll move this out of the way. Carrie's always supporting me. She wants all my things. I love it. Okay, so this I'll hang on my board here. Now, I think this is somewhat the same size as, maybe slightly a little larger. So I may not need as much, but I'm still going to measure it, because if it's larger, the knots are going to be larger, so you're not going to need as much cord. But we're still going to measure out. Let me see here. I love you too. So bookmarks were made a little bit later, so I've got a lot that I wrote down. So here I have bookmark square knots. So this is what I got here. Oh, you can't see, it's backwards. I'm sorry. I've heard on Facebook that you can't like flip your. So I've got the size of the ring, the size of my cord, which is 3 millimeters. I'm thinking this is a slightly larger 3 millimeters. And then it says 4 feet. So I'm gonna need 4 cords at 4 feet, 20 inches for top. And then I've got how many square knots I did. And okay, So we'll measure out 4 cords at 4 feet. And sometimes, because if you're doing a project, and this has happened to me a lot of the times, you're doing a project and you measure out and then you find out you don't have enough cord. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll obviously have to make a new one for the client, if it's a client requesting one. But I'll just make one that's slightly a little bit shorter and sell that. So instead of like wasting it, or I'll use the cord for like a different project. So 2, 3, 4, so 4 feet, and then I'll measure out 4 of these. So what I'll just do is I just use the same cord and then just kind of measure it this way. And then one more. My roll is just rolling there. There we go. Definitely measuring tape is a must. Okay, now for this one, I'm just going to add them all the same length because we're going to be alternating square knots, so you don't need to make one shorter than the other. So you put your 2 ends together, you find your loop, and then with your ring, we're going to bring it over the ring like this, and then you'll have your loop here on the other side, and then you just bring your 2 cords through the loop, and then pull tight. Now, I just like to double check. See here, one's a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to loosen up my knot, and then bring it so you want these to be the same length, because otherwise when you reach the end of your project, you're going to have cords that are shorter, and that could mean you restarting your whole project. So I'm going to do the same thing with all 4. Oh yeah, I think this can be really nice with the pink cord. So what's everyone doing today? So it's Family Day weekend, and yesterday I tried to find like skating. I know there's skating outdoors, but is there any skating indoors? Like public skating? Because I looked at the schedule and it says like, you know, Saturday, Sunday public skating, but then in the fine print it says excluding, and then these days, these weekend days. So I don't understand. Do they have a separate schedule that I didn't see? Because I wanted to bring Cam skating, but it feels like there's no skating. So I don't know. So here we go. That's all set up. And I also like to pin. I also like to pin the actual cord itself, the actual knot in the board. I'll try to move this over a bit so you can see, but I'm going to make so alternating square knots. So you'll notice here that I have like 2 and then 1 in the middle. 2, 1 in the middle, 2, 1 in the middle. So we'll do that until we have, I think, 18. 17, 18, yeah, so there's 18 rows. So let's do this. And then I also have, so I've got 4 custom orders in all, which is wonderful because December, I had tons of custom orders, right, for Christmas. And then usually January is a slow month because everyone is done purchasing, and then I had a Valentine's Day market not too long ago, and I got 4 custom orders from that. So I was like, okay, that's great. I love it. So if I'm not working on a custom order, I'm working on an item for my craft show. And the Northern Ontario handmade one that's coming out, that's a big one for me. So I'm already started working on some things for that. It's never too early. So this is what I got. I got 2, 1, and then I'm just making 2 side by side. That's why I said that we don't put any that are shorter, because we're using all of our cords, whether it's the ones on the outside or the inside. Yeah, so I don't know what our plans are going to be today now. I wanted to go skating, bring Cam skating, but that doesn't seem, I don't know. I know there's a free swim tomorrow, I believe. So maybe we can do that. All right, so as I'm working down, it starts to kind of like move around. So what I'll do is I'll keep a pin here at the top, but then I'll slowly add a pin as I go down. It's easier to work with, so it's not like bouncing up and down and moving. So anyone else drinking a coffee? Coffee this morning. I think it's slightly cold out too, eh, this morning? I think I had checked with the weather to see for sliding or... Going to if you want to come here also. Oh, okay. Were you guys supposed to go today or tomorrow? Oh, today I think, eh? And actually, Iroquois Falls had some really cool activities going on, but it's if you want to drive there, right? Yeah. Coffee. What do you guys take in your coffee? I do a little bit of sugar, and then I really, really like my hazelnut coffee cream. I've been on that kick for a few years now. And that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna go tonight. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much going on here, which is unfortunate. So it's been very quiet. But you know what? Sometimes that downtime is needed too, though. French vanilla and sugar. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I used to drink a coffee like after supper, and I can't do it anymore. So I just have one in the morning, sometimes 2. So usually just 1. You'd love to learn how to do that? Yes. So this is what I've got so far. I actually taught myself how to do it. I say YouTube University, because it is possible. It is possible to learn, definitely. And I also offer classes. So right now I have one at the museum at the end of the month. We're going to be making a plant hanger. But I'm also coming out with 3 new in-home workshops. So I've got my poster done. I just need to finalize the times and pricing and just make sure it looks good. And I think I'll actually send that out today. So for workshops, depending on what you want to do, so let's say you wanted to do a plant hanger, that would be, so it'd be $30 each participant. So I ask that there's at least 5 people because I still have to get ready for the workshop, you know, drive there and get set up. And so at least 5 people. And then if you're doing the plant hanger workshop, you would each pay $30. But I arrive there with like all materials, and you can make it like as a girls' night, or right, or it could be even during the day. I'm very flexible with my schedule, so I work with you. Hi, Amy. Welcome in. I'm always catching Amy's live, so now she gets to catch one of mine. Yay! If you're just joining, I'm working on a bookmark, and this is a custom order. So she ordered pink, and I'll show you what I got so far. So this is what I got. And you'll notice I still have quite a lot of cord here, but that's because we're doing 18 rows here. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I think what I might also do, because I'm getting close to the bottom here, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. So just bring this up. And even if I go a little bit past, I can still pin it, and it's okay. Thank you. Yay! It's my second live. When I joined last weekend, I was so nervous. But now I was actually super excited to come on. And I was like, oh, even if I only have like one person watching, maybe that one person, you know, will just enjoy hanging out with me and have a coffee with me. But thank you. Yeah, I was excited. So, and like I said, for my scheduling for going live right now, this is the best. Early morning, you know, Sundays we don't usually have much going on. So usually my daughter on Saturdays she has ringette, and it's at Whitney, so we have to drive there. It's pretty busy. Ah, thank you. I'm a natural. That was my goal for 2025, was to go live. And like I've been watching lives of people crafting, and I was like, I can do that. I think that'd be cool, right? Like work on macrame and just chit chat, and like, people like seeing different crafts and how it's made, and ask questions. And so here I am. And until I can get like more followers on my other platforms, like I'm going live here, and then I might possibly switch over to TikTok if I can get enough more followers on it. All right, I'm gonna count and see. I should be maybe, I'll do one more, because I usually end with 2 at the bottom, but I'm getting like really close to the end of my cord here, so that's why I'm wondering if I'm almost done that, or I didn't cut enough cord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Actually, I ended with 1 at the bottom here, so let's see, because I did the V at the bottom, that's right. So I might have to, because I'm looking at so like see here, the end here on this one, but then these ones are a lot longer. I don't even know which ones these ones are, because I would go up and make these ones longer and these ones shorter, but I can't tell just looking at these which 2 cords these are. So it's gonna happen where that's gonna happen. Okay, so I think I might actually end it there, and that's still a really good length for a bookmark. These are 16 for a bookmark, and this is what it looks like when it's packaged. So you get your bookmark, and then I also added like a tassel with a bead. You can choose the color of your bead too. So yes, I do believe that would be nice. Because then at the end, I'm gonna add like some diagonal. What are those knots called again? I always forget. Those knots. I'd have to research that one up. But then for these ones here, so I'll grab one of the cords as my working cord, and I'm gonna make sure that it's like along the way that I want to work, and then I use another cord and I wrap it around. You know what? This is actually one of the hardest knots to teach and to learn for some reason, because you have to hold on to this cord and bring this one around, and people have a hard time being able to do both. So I'm going to bring my next cord over, and then you kind of slide it like so, and then I'm going to do one more time. Until you do workshops, you don't really know which knots are the easiest and which ones are the hardest. So this is what I've done on the one. I think this is a diagonal clove hitch knot. I'm gonna have to get back to you guys on that one. Love one for my sister. Ooh. Oh, okay, perfect. So this is what I have for purple light. I was working on a separate order, and I was using this one. This is a pretty color, and this would be pretty as a bookmark. Let me know if that one, if you like that one. Yeah, they're beautiful, eh? The bookmarks. I started making them for Christmas, and they were a hit. I like sold out of them. So I've got a separate book here that I use for like things I need to do, custom orders. So I've got, this is, I started this in Christmas, so you can see like I've got like a lot of things that I wrote down here. So I'll write that down because I've got about 4 custom orders right now. Oh yes, we've got tons of time. Tons of time. So okay, so I'll do light purple. So I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Bookmark with light purple. And when I'm like ready to start it, I'll message you, and then we can decide like color of bead, and because I'll be able to like, I like taking pictures of like what I have and then sending them to you, and then you can decide. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now that I did on the one side, I'm going to do on the other side. And this is tricky too, because you get comfortable with the one side, and then you gotta flip it and do it on the other side. So I'm gonna take one working cord, bring it over, and that's kind of like my template. And I bring the next cord beside it. I'm gonna wrap it around, and I wrap it around twice. 1, 2. And then I'll do this for the rest of the cords on that side. Yeah, so when I'm doing workshops, I have to be mindful of, does it include this knot? Because this knot's tricky. And then I'm gonna close it up. Oh man, I remember when I first started, I had done a workshop, and the whole keychain was this knot, and yeah, when you first start off. So there you go, that's what the bottom will look like. I could make on this one, actually, I could make a separate one, a second one, because I do have, we'll see if I have enough cord. You're welcome, Mimi. That'll be a nice gift. especially if you have someone in your life that reads a lot. And okay, let's see, I'm gonna try to do another row. So I find that's the fun thing too about when you're making a custom order like this. Yes, like this is my template here, but like if I wanted to add that second row there, you can, and it just adds a little bit more like of a personal touch to it. So let's see, I'm gonna try to make another one, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough cord. I may not, because this little guy, he's a little itty bitty. So I might just remove that last row. And lots of trial and error for sure. Like I've been doing this since, well, 2020 is when I started, but I wasn't making knots back then. It was just like you had your dowel, so like something like this, and I was just hanging cord from. I had taken a workshop. It was like during COVID time there, and I took a workshop. They came and brought all the things at the door, and I did it through Zoom, and I loved it. Actually, I still have it upstairs. I still have that, my first one ever made. Yeah, so this is what I got. Yeah, so I fell in love with the craft, and then I decided, since I was at home, I decided to just learn the knots. It was a little bit like overwhelming at first, because I was like, oh, they look so complicated. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it. But I did it. And I am continuously learning new knots. So I'm just gonna cut here the two longest pieces, and I might actually try to reuse one to make the gathering knot, but I don't know if it's long enough. So I don't think it's going to be long enough. So if it's not long enough, what I do with these pieces here is, if you've ever bought something from me before, you'll know that I like to make these little tassels. And I've got like a bunch of different tassels, or small little, you can put them like on your purse, or so what I'll do is these two pieces here, I'll turn into a tassel. So instead of throwing it out, I reuse it, and it's like you receive a free tassel with otherwise scraps that would have been thrown in the garbage. And I don't really like wasting like that. So I will end up taking a little bit more of my pink and probably measure out a foot for the gathering knot, just to close it up. So I'm gonna flip over my bookmark, so the back side is what I'll be working with here. And then for the gathering knot, you take your piece of cord, and I'll have one shorter side and then one longer side. And so this loop here is what I'll be placing right here at the bottom. Bring all my cords together. I'm holding my gathering knot, so I'll have a cord here at the top, my loops at the bottom, and this cord here is what I'll wrap around. So I'll go to the bottom and wrap all my cord around. So I'm pulling tight, but not too tight, because then you'll have a hard time bringing your cord through. So I wrapped it around a few times like this. And you gotta find your loop here. So my loop's down here at the bottom. Just bring this down a bit so my cord here I can put inside the loop. And then you pull on your cord here at the top. And you'll notice that your cord at the bottom just gets brought forward. So I kind of have to bring it close to my chest here like this, because to get the tightness that you want, like to bring it through. Now I'm just gonna cut the ends and the extra here that's visible at the top and the bottom. And then very carefully, I'm just gonna push that cord inside, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay. See very carefully because I'm sure there's a safer way to do that. So this is what the gathering knot looks like. And before I had like a bit of cord at the top here in the bottom. So you just want to kind of just clean it up. Now, I noticed too that like my cord here, I'm gonna tighten it a little bit on the sides. So what I do is I just pull, I'll just pull on the cord until I find the one that's on the side that I wanna bring a little bit down. Just little tricks that you learn after you make a few. Yeah, I'm happy with the way it looks. That's the front and the back. And now I'm just gonna cut the extras here. I don't really like leaving it too long. And that too takes practice, is cutting straight. If you're cutting for the first time, I definitely suggest cutting longer and then making your way shorter, because if you cut too short, you're not gonna have any left. Okay, I'm just going to grab, this is my little towel. What I like to do is, I've got a fabric stiffening spray. This is the best I've found so far. So what I'll do is I'll spray the knot here, because it is cord, so after a while it will, after wear and tear, it will move, and so to avoid that cord unraveling itself, I will just spray, and then it hardens up, and then you got that extra added protection on it. Now, on my bookmarks here, I have this that's not brushed, but I think what I might do, so I'll let this dry. I might message the client and ask, like, if she wants it brushed through. You can brush it through, or I could just spray it and then leave these as is. They'll stay like that if I spray them, or I can brush them, and you'll have like a little tassel. Still make the backpack unicorn? Yes, I do. The mermaid ones? I do have some. Cam has one on her backpack, actually. I can show you what I have. Yeah, those are cute. I'll go down here. I've got my baskets. I've got quite the stock of items. Because like I said, I have a big craft show coming up. So I've got like the burgundy one. I've got light pink and dark pink, and these are all $10 each. This is like an orange color. I've got dark purple, and I've got light purple, blue. Oh, and this is another burgundy, so I've got both, and then a blue, light blue. Aren't these pretty? And then the reason why I put these ones in plastic is because, and this I learned, because when you have anything with the fringe, when you're bringing it to and from like markets, I was always there brushing them out before the show, and I was like, okay, there's gotta be an easier way to do this. So I started packaging them in plastic. I don't package everything in plastic, but Ellie needs a new one. Yeah, so I've got like these ones here. So, or if she wanted like a different color, so these are the ones I've got. These ones are cute. Or if she wants a different color, just let me know. Can I buy the dark purple? So this one, isn't that pretty? And yeah, so it's 10. So this one here. So I've also, so I sprayed this one with the fabric stiffening, But I find, especially on backpacks, they get worn a little bit faster, right? Because it's used every day. I'm thinking I might try my burgundy one because I've got two. So what I've used on my wreaths is like a mixture of glue and water. So you'll mix like 2 tablespoons of water to 1 tablespoon of glue, and it stiffens it a lot better. Like it holds a little bit better. So I think I might try to do that with the bottom of this one, and then if it does work out well, I'll do it on this one and see how well that holds up. That's new for me too, is that mixture. I actually had another macrame artist here in town, Paige from Notch & Co. We were discussing about the wreaths and what I used, and then I told her that I was using the fabric stiffening spray, but it wasn't holding up as well as I wanted it to, and so it was her idea for the glue, so thank you. Thank you, Paige. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Amy. It means a lot. Have a good day. Amazing. All right, so my bookmark is drying, and I could get like this top part here set up, but again, I'm gonna need to message her to see if what kind of beads she wants. And like I've got quite a lot of beads actually. Do you want to see? You want to see all my beads? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm back. These are my fishing tackles boxes. My fishing tackle boxes. Do you have anything for the car to hang? Oh, I do. Jose, yeah, I do. I have a lot. Actually, I'll show you in a second. And I remade a bunch of them. So I've got like my larger beads here. These I love. So I have like a big container. I'm gonna need to buy some more because these are my favorite ones. And then I've got these. The fishing tackle boxes are perfect because then I find like if I'm running low on one, then I can like switch them around. You can switch like the compartments. So I've got like quite a lot of like beads for Christmas. So I got these ones. And then these. Oh, I've got some of my earrings too. Hi, Morgan. Okay, and I've got my last one here. This one's a little flimsy though. It was my mom's, so the box was my mom's, so I'm gonna be careful. And I've got a bunch here. You can never have enough beads. And the other thing too is a lot of my beads, their holes are, their beads are like, the holes are like too small inside, so a lot of them I can't use. All right, I got my bin here with my car diffusers, and I think, yeah, I've got the circular ones. I've got these ones too, but I think they're a little bit too big for the car. You gotta be mindful of the size, especially when it's going in the car. So I've got these. I love making these. These are so fun. So these are my car diffusers, and it's like a wooden ring, and it's got the wooden bead here where you can put your essential oil or perfume. And these are all $10 each, and then I've got like a little explanation in the back of how to use it. So I've got like the two-tone colors here. It's like a black and a tan color. I've got a lot. Like I said, I just made a few. This one, the yellow is beautiful. I've got blue. I love this setup. Oh yeah, this is like a few years in the making there, Carrie. I've got this super cute, like a peach, and then the burgundy, and then your white. Well, not white, it's like an off-white, but, and then, oh, I got some new colors too. I got brown, gray, and then I've got, this is more of like an orangey color, and then I've got a pink. So I made quite a few. for my upcoming market. So these are $10 each. These are all my car diffusers. They're super cute too. Like instead of the usual like tree that we all have, the Canadian Tire tree that you end up putting. So yeah, and this is like a little basket that I end up putting them in. Easier to bring to markets. And like I was saying, I have like 2 others here, but they're more of like a room. But I did put car though, but like I do find them a little bit bigger. So see, this is the size of, you can see the difference. I mean, some people like having larger like items, so I've got like two of these. These are 12 each. And then I've got a little leaf that you can put too. Again, like I said, anything with fringe I put in plastic because they're easier to store and bring to markets. So that's what I got for my diffusers there. And if I showed them too quick or you missed it, you can always like message me and I'll send you a picture. So I'll work on that one. Actually, Carrie, I'm gonna write it down because I don't want to forget it. Yeah, so all my beads. So I'll have to message her and see if she wants like what kind she wants. So Carrie, purple mermaid keychain. Yay for Evie. Cam has a pink one. Actually, you know what? I could put that glue mixture on Cam's and see how that holds up. So these are like, the heat just turned on there. Sorry, I'm a little warm. These are things that you learn along the way. I'm wearing my corn t-shirt. You're welcome. You're welcome, Josie. Like I said, if there's anything that you're interested in getting or you wanted to see the colors, I can send you a picture too. I bought this shirt off Alyssa from Swamp Vintage. So she's got like a vintage shop and she was in the common shop at the Old Body shop in the mall. And I know Alyssa from Smooth Rock, so I asked her if you find any corn t-shirts, buy me one. And she found this one, so it's super fun. Okay, so I realized that it's almost 11. This hour went by really quick. So my hours are usually an hour long, and this was a fun hour. I was really looking forward to being live, and it was fun. So anything for boys' backpacks. I mean, I have like keychains that, let me look at my my bin here. I have this like huge plastic tote underneath here because I'm running out of room for all my stock. I'll show you what I think might work for a boys carry. They're keychains, but I think, oh, so is the mermaid one. So I have like these types of keychains. They're made with the braided cord. So the braided cord I had used earlier for the wristlets, so like this would actually be a lot more sturdier. So I've got like green and white. That one was black and gray, aqua and like a gray. These ones are pretty cute. This one's got a purple, so maybe not. And then I've got like these ones here, and this one is actually a glow in the dark one. Pretty cool. I had gotten a free little cord, and it was a glow in the dark cord, and it wasn't like enough to do like a big project. It was just like something, a free gift that I got. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I made this one, and then I made this one. So they both glow in the dark. So yeah, the boys would, yeah, these would really, they would really look cool. And they're made with like a braided cord, so it's something that you could just wash. So I'll put these aside if you want these two. These are $8 each. So yeah, I found that really cool. I was like, what can I make with glow in the dark cord? I was like, oh, a keychain would be cool. Oh, and this is, I have another bookmark here. This is a gray one. Okay. Okay, sounds good, Carrie. Thank you. All right. So I'll close that up. And the other thing too is when I put my inventory in like boxes that have the lid on them, like if I have them for a few months at a time, like just waiting for the next market, like they don't get all dusty. And so, and I have a cat too. She sheds a little bit, but obviously she's not allowed on my table or my workspace or near my cord, but the hair gets around. So I like having something that's closed up. Even like all my market stuff, like everything I bring to markets, everything's in bins, everything's closed up. So yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to continue doing today, is just working on some custom orders. I've got another one for a crystal holder necklace. I'll show you guys that too, because I'm almost done my life. So I have a custom order for a necklace. So this is, you can put a crystal inside, so you just open up this bead, and there's an amethyst in this one, but you can put any crystal inside. So that too was another custom order that I had. So you just close it up like this, and then the backing here too, so you can put this on and then switch the backing, like slide the bead if you want your necklace to be longer or shorter. So this I'll put to the side. And then I also have another order for a heart wreath. So that I'm gonna make off-white. So I think I have it here. So an off-white color. Oh, thank you. Yeah, like there's a lot of things that you can make with macrame. So I have to limit myself with what I do. Okay, so I've got a heart here, a heart attachment. So this was attached, there was like 3 hearts, so another one, there's 3 of them together. So I ended up kind of just cutting it off. This is wire, so it took me quite a bit. And then what I'll do is I'll attach cord around it and make like a heart wreath. So that's going to take me a little bit more. So that's why I'm working on the smaller ones. Like I'll work on my bookmark today, work on some keychains, and then I'll do this, unless I save this for next week's live. Maybe I could do that too, because the one that the client that purchased this one, she said no rush, but I still like to get it out there because if you order something, you want to have it, right? Yeah, and I also have to work on things for the craft show coming up and something else coming up which I believe was posted, so I do believe that I can talk about it, but that they're going to be opening up the Commons is going to be opening up again for another month at the mall. So it's going to be a spring pop-up shop. So I'm working on that as well. There's just never enough time in a day. There's so much that I want to do and work on. So yeah, I'm going to continue working on that today. But thank you for joining me though this morning. This was a great hour. It went by super quick. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll make more lives or go live longer, or But I also have a family, so they have to. So like my workshop, like my area is kitchen / living room. You can kind of see a bit my kitchen there. So when I'm live, I'm like, okay, well, give me 1 hour and then you guys can come. So yeah, thanks for joining. It was great having a bunch of different people in this morning too, and I like the questions and showing you guys things. And I'll be back next Sunday from 10 to 11, and if these lives are great and fun, I might make some more. So thank you for joining, and have a good Sunday, and we'll see you next time. Bye.